to change here. Okay. So before you go into more detail about your mission, your vision, and all that, is there anything else on?
Yes, I didn't finish.
Yes.
I just answered his question that. Okay.
He's always trying to sidetrack people.
Okay. If you remember the Oslo Agreement, more of 20 years ago, they decided to give Gaza and Jericho first. Gaza plus Jericho equal Yeshu, again 316. Now it is a verse in the book of Yeshayahu. ולא יהל שם What's the acronym of Yeshua? Will not live there Arabic.
So say, what's the translation of this?
The Arabic will not put his tent in this place.
The Arab.
The Arab.
An Arab, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so we have here Yeshu. It's not in the right order, but in acronym, we use acronym like this, is very important too. It's not must to be always in the right order. If I take the Vav and I call it Yesha, Yesha is Ya'el Sham Arabi. We live there Arabic.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yesha, the way they used to call, do not mention the name of that man.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't call it Yeshua, this land. They call it Yesha, they took the Vav out. With the Vav out, instead that it will be and will not live Arabic, it become will live the Arabic. Why you change the name? Okay? Yesha. Ya'el Sham Arabi. We live there Arabic.
And again, Yesha would be Yehuda, Shamron, Judah, Samaria, and
Gaza. With not end. Should be the end, but they took the Vav Achibur, the Vav of connection, they took it out and we lost the end. Okay, so why did he take the Vav? So really what we can see here is that there are three things that are really connected together. Is Am Israel, is the Torah of Israel, and is the land of Israel. First problem, we give up about soul of Israel. Very important soul. Important, Hashuv equal Jesus, Yeshu. So we give up about him. And then because this sin, we damage the name, we damage the Torah. All the Torah that we learn might be damaged because that we took this soul out of Am Israel in different way. So then, next catastrophe, we lost the land of Israel because instead of will not live the Arabic, it become will live the Arabic. So this is a problem. Now we have a problem. What to do? Okay. So it's very important that any Christian in the world will know what was the politics here around this territory that they care so much about somebody build a building there in the Itnachaluyot. Why everybody, all the world care about this place so much, and by the international law, this territory don't belong to nobody, not to Jordan, not to nobody. So all what Medinat Israel have to do is to say it's mine. It's all. And for some reason, they cannot do it. They don't do it. Okay? Now, the Christian around, give it away, it's not yours. Alright, so most of the Christians don't know what it's about. Who's the judge? The judge, Yeshua. Yeshua, the land of Israel. have to belong to the Jew or belong to Ishmael. Yosef was sold to Ishmael, if you remember the story. Yeshua was sold to the priest. If we learn this concept in Kabbalah, we know that Ishmael has to do with the priesthood, not out of holiness. The Keter Keuna, the crown of priesthood, is Ishmael, not in holiness. Like we will say that the crown of kingdom is Esav.
Okay, so just to make sure everybody's there with following what he's saying. So he's saying that like in the story of Yosef, book of Genesis, right? His brothers sold Yosef to the Ishmaelite traders that took him down to Egypt, right? And in the tradition of Kabbalah, they connect Ishmael to a priest, not a priest, not a holy priest, but an unholy priest.
Yes.
Okay. So Yosef represents Yeshua, represents Messiah ben Yosef. When we look at the life of Yeshua, his brothers sold him to the priest. Okay. So there's this parallel, right? There's this parallel that kind of repeats itself in the history of Am Israel.
Okay, so I am a priest, so I have to sold it back to Am Israel. Somebody that we give to the priest, we are not allowed to use it anymore. It's called cherem, it's a taboo.
So anything that's given to a priest is set aside and sanctified can't be used for any other purpose.
Okay, it's like something that don't belong anymore to Am Israel, so must to be a like act of redemption of the firstborn, like we do with the priest. This kind of act, we are going to do it again with God's help, with my rabbi and me. We will do an act of I sell Jesus back to Am Israel. Like somebody that the firstborn could go to the priest, because the firstborn from the first place belong to the priesthood, so you have to pay money to the priest to redeem his born. Kind of act like this we are going to, with God's help, to perform.
So this is an act. Ariel's starting to get into a little bit of the vision. So as you have over the years now had these conversations, particularly with your rabbi, the conversations have developed to this vision of bringing Yeshua back to Am Israel, back to the people of Israel. And the way, through conversations with your rabbi and maybe others, the first step in that process, because it has to be done according to Jewish law, right? So the first step in that process is to go through a process of legally redeeming Yeshua, because he was sold to the priest, and so a priest, Ariel Cohen, right? He's a Cohen. Ariel Cohen Alloro, as a priest, you can sell him back.
This is the idea here.
Okay.
To do it again.
And your rabbi, who is very well regarded in Orthodox Judaism, he's in agreement that this is the first
He
step.
asked me to get the money 3 years ago to do it. So he's already, and he said, you bring the money, put it in third person, and then we talk. This means he want to move it.
Okay.
He want to go on with this.
And so one thing I'll add is that I saw Ariel and Theo share a video with me earlier today of his rabbi giving a shiur, giving a lesson to, I think it was in a shul or something, I don't know, to some Orthodox Jews. When his rabbi gives a shiur, the house is packed. Okay, that's because that's how well he's regarded. In this video, he's talking to the people that are there in attendance about this idea of Esav is Christianity in the thinking of Orthodox Judaism, but he's talking about Esav and Esav becoming, is no longer being forbidden, which is a way of saying that being able to interact with Christians and Christianity and whatnot. He's on video talking about this becoming a reality.
Breaking the taboos.
Breaking the taboos.
And is your rabbi following this logic, this line of thought, this whole process all along the way, and saying, okay, well, you can't really say this, or you can't really do this, or it's like everything you're doing, it looks right, kind of.
No.
Is he kind of?
In one, like I say, from one side he tell me, no, יימח שמו. He don't say this.
That's for
He
sure.
knows that it is a blessing, I was just joking, but we say other things that instead, but with a blink, if you understand what I mean. Because he knows that before we agree 100% about everything, we cannot publish anything about this. We have to be ready, we have to be prepared with books, with movie, with everything have to be prepared to announce this. After we announce this to Am Israel, after preparation of 1, 2 years, 3 years, I don't know, we are going to organize a retrial for Yeshu with 10 rabbis. Probably in this retrial.
So the Pidyon HaBen, though, that will be done in public or in private?
No, in private.
Okay.
We do it first of all in private. We are going to picture it with 10 other friends, rabbi. So this will be a document, and then we do preparation, translation of the book in English, like he want to do it. And then we go to the public and we start to organize the retrial with 10 big rabbis. And after this retrial, this will be a big show all over the world, a big TV show, that everybody will learn what is Mashiach from all the point of view in this show. After this retrial, we are going to ask a Pidyon HaBen personally from each Jew. Each one it's like a machatzit shekel that everyone will have to pay for the priesthood to redeem his soul. What it means to accept Yeshua is the same thing. The charity we give, charity, money in Hebrew it means blood. So each one has to be like Jesus giving his
So the
blood.
gematria of the Hebrew word for money is
It's dam.
dam.
What it means blood.
Dam also
Kesef?
means blood.
Kesef.
Is it kesef? Okay.
Kesef, yes. Sometimes instead of using the word kesef, we use the word dam. Dam is Dalet mem. If you Dalet is 4, mem is 40. 4 times 40 equal 160. What is kesef? Another connection. The dam is
Money
kesef. Okay?
and silver.
No, you said to sell back Yeshua.
What's that?
He said you were planning to sell back.
It's the
Redemption.
It's the symbolic legal ceremony of redemption, right? If you recall from the Torah, if you have a firstborn son, Hashem says he belongs to the priesthood. He belongs to the Kohanim.
Yeah.
You take him to the temple and you leave him with the priests, unless you pay the redemption price and you buy back your son, right? Yeshua is a son of Israel, right?
Right.
And he's been with the priests. He was sold to the
Right.
to the
And from
priest.
the priest he was giving in the moment this belonged to the priest, it means it belonged to God. It belonged to God, it means it belonged to the nation, to everybody, except the Jew.
Because the Jews gave him. When you give something to the priest, it's no longer yours. So what he's saying is, the Jews gave Yeshua to the priest. That's why they don't have him anymore.
Soul.
Sold. So from an Orthodox Jewish perspective, how do you fix that? You have to redeem him back. And this is what Ariel is working with his rabbi to do, right? So if you don't have the perspective of Orthodox Judaism, it might sound kind of weird and crazy. But this is how they can bring Yeshua back
Legally.
in a kosher, legal way. Because that's the only way Orthodox Judaism is going to consider it. Because if it's not in accordance with halakha, with Jewish law, then they're not going to touch it. But they have a way, B'ezrat Hashem, with God's help, that they can bring him back legally to first, and it's not about making every Jew believe he's Messiah, B'ezrat Hashem, that will come, right? But it's about first making him no longer taboo. Helping Israel understand that, no, he was Jewish, he didn't teach anything against the Torah, and he belongs to Am Israel, right? And just breaking down those simple taboos is like, that's like night and day from where we've been for the last, 1900 years, okay? It's a process. So after the Pidyon HaBen, then from there you'll begin work on the retrial. And the purpose of the retrial, as I understand it, is to essentially via a documentary TV process. Why? For education. That the retrial would be like a filmed documentary with at least 10 rabbis, well-regarded rabbis, and the purpose is to bring out into the light some of these connections in the Torah and other things, as well as, I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong here, but as well as to also re-examine, because the original trial, as we have it recorded in the Gospels, was not in accordance with Jewish law. You can't try somebody for capital punishment in the middle of the night.
Right.
That is against the Torah.
Right.
But the priesthood at that time was corrupt, right? So he was not tried according to halakha to begin with. So
In the
the
holiday.
sentence was really
Yeah, no.
It's a holiday as well.
right.
Zino
Yeah.
of holidays. There are many reasons why it was not
Legal.
a legal trial. Many reasons.
So we'll have the goal is to have this retrial, and the purpose of what at the end of the retrial, what do you hope and pray happens? What's the result you're looking for?
Like we said, let's say that the retrial will be 5-5. So then
5 rabbis, 4 or 5 rabbis.
Then each one will have to decide for himself. Each one will have to use his big head to take a decision. It's not what my rabbi say or what another rabbi say. I have to, by myself, to take the decision to who belong this. If it's part of Am Israel or it's not part of Am Israel, etc. Me personally, I have to buy it again, to accept it again.
And so the purpose of after the retrial, the purpose of having every Jew in the world pay a redemption price is to create that national, the nation, the national people of Israel saying, yes, we bring Yeshua back. He's kosher.
Only after the retrial, all the wall between Judaism and Christianity will fall down, and only then really Am Israel start to do what he's supposed to do from the beginning of the creation, to be light for the nation. He will be able to really to be light for the creation. Only after we solve this main problem of Mashiach.
And